And I still to this day remember the speech by the headmaster where to all the new recruits on day one. And I believe he gives this speech every year, or he did. He said, look, we were all lined up and he said, ladies and gentlemen, I have got some bad news and some good news. Okay, the bad news is we will have at least 5 kidnappings a year from this school.
Oh my God.
Okay. He said the good news, it's not going to be you. I don't pay you enough. They couldn't care less about you. They care about the kids. Um, and lo and behold, he was right. We would have kids kidnapped from the school gates. It was just a transfer of money. You know, they'd keep the kids for a few hours, get the money and hand them back. But that's a scary environment to live in. Imagine any other job where you turn up and about a third of your team tell you on day one they hate you, they hate what you're about to tell them, they're never gonna listen to it. That's what happens when you're a math teacher.
Mm.
Kids have a narrative in their head. Some kids that they don't just hate math, they don't get on with it. And they tell you that on day one as though they're proud of it. But it's not an optional subject, right? They have
Mhm.
to be there. So you have to learn a way to overcome their resistance. Otherwise, you're in a daily battle. Right? And
How do you overcome their resistance?
how do you overcome that resistance, right? You reframe it, right? You simplify things, you gamify things. You find what they are passionate about and connect it to. So many of the children in that school were big soccer fans.
Okay.
So as far as they're concerned, we weren't studying math, we were studying soccer, right?
Okay.
Can you count how many corners there are, how many kickoffs, how many, you know, yeah. Oh yeah, that's fun because it's soccer,
Hmm.
right? No, it's math. That's what's behind it. But you by changing their point of attention, right, turning it into a game, yeah, there's always a way through to anybody, right? If you can lean into what they actually like and steer away from the language or the things that they don't like. I always talk about if you can understand, and then we'll come on to this in the EQ bit, if you can understand a human being's whiffums and whammies, Mike, have you ever heard of whiffums and whammies?
Nope.
No,
First time.
whiffim, first time, whiffim, WIFM, what's in it for me?
Okay.
Everybody walks around with a what's in it for me? Yeah,
I've
why
heard
should I
that
keep it?
before, but
Yeah,
I've never heard it
yeah,
termed that
yeah.
way. Yeah.
Okay. And the other side of the coin is whammy, WAMI. What's against my interest?
Okay.
Ooh, that sounds against my interest. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to stay late. I don't want to have to work harder. I don't want to have to give up my weekend. So imagine you could instantly find out a person what's in it for them and what's against their interest, and you could just give them whiffums and avoid as many whammies as possible.
Yeah.
They'd be much more amenable.